Hey everybody, and welcome to our first test match with Gruul Blitz. I'm gonna be on the play. Looks like Magic Island wants to take its sweet time. Um, I think I'm gonna keep this hand. If I wasn't on the play, I would instantly mulligan. But the thing is that if we draw a land, we can have turn 2 Emissary into Jund Hackblade. And if we don't draw a land at the very worst, we can put out um, Wall in the Coddle or Young Wolf. So that's not bad. Purity. Okay, so it looks like we might be playing against Delver. Delver, not a great matchup. Certainly much better because we're on the play though. So hopefully we don't have to play against Daze here. Because that would be unfortunate. I'm going to get a Forest because I can cast 2 threats in my hand with a Forest as opposed to only 1. Alright. Well, that's not terrible. Can play the Emissary into Jund Hackblade and get in for 3. I think playing the Jund Hackblade and getting in for 3 against a deck like Delver is going to be better than just laying a 1-1 and a 2-3. So, that's kind of the reason for that. An Expanse. Okay, so maybe Angler Delver. Which, depending on their draws, really not actually a terrible matchup, surprisingly enough. Um, it can be difficult because they do have cheap removal such as Ghastly Demise or even Doomblade or Disfigure. But the thing about this deck is Disfigure is not really all that good against you. Well, they kept one card. They chose not to shuffle. They're gonna shuffle away anyway, so that's good. Oh, one second. Okay, apologies to my opponent. If you ever watched this video, I was talking to M. Lovebo about the CPC, so that's cool. Oh, blue-red. Um, okay, I guess that signals actually Blitz. Is it Blitz? Our deck is actually quite good against Is It Blitz, because we can really outrace them if they don't have a turn 2 or turn 3 threat. And this draw is not bad against Is It Blitz, it's just the problem that we need red in order to cast our spells. So, the best draw right now would be... Oh, it is... Okay, that's cool. The best draw right now, of course, would be, maybe a Mountain or an Ash Barrens. Ash Barrens is fine because we can still cast a Rip Plant Crasher or Kirdape if I so choose. So, let's see what I draw here. Need that red mana. Alright, well, let's go ahead and attack. Probably gonna bolt my Hackblade. I'd be surprised if they didn't. And they did mulligan, so them not having a threat is, not out of the question here. Yep. Take 4, and unfortunately pass the turn. So, I played Jund Hackblade on turn 2 and put them to 17. Had I played the Wall and the Coddle and the Kirdape, I would have put them... And then they went to 12. Had I played those, they would have went to... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they would have went to 15, and then to 10, and then to 8. I think they'd actually be at 2 more life the way that I could have done it. I'm getting a little screwed on red mana, which is something that happens with this deck. It's a large reason why, if you're thinking about playing a deck like this, I would usually just suggest Stompy, because if you stumble like this, you're going to lose the game very easily. I'm attacking with Wall in the Coddle because I want to put my opponent to 3. You really want to put your opponent to 3 in this deck to put them in like a bolt type of range. We could easily lose here. It sucks that they're not at 2, so that they can actually play a Mutagenic Growth or Gitaxian Probe for free. but there isn't really much I could do about that. Another Cyclops. Okay, well that means they don't have enough to kill us just yet. Emissary is good. I don't think I win the game just yet, but I can play Horn Kavu and get somewhere. Because I can attack with John Hackblade, but they can block and block here and just go to 2, so I think playing Emissary and then playing Horn Kavu, returning an Emissary is probably my best bet, because then next turn if I don't draw a red land, I can go Burnt Emissary to John Hackblade. And I guess I should attack with Young Wolf, because they either go to 2 or they block and it becomes a 2-2, which makes it much more of a threat. So I'm just going to run that guy in there. I could attack with Burnt Emissary to give them the option to double block, but I don't think that's really going to get me very far. So I'm definitely attacking with Young Wolf. If I attack with Burning Tree Emissary, and they double block and they go to 2, that shuts off Mutagenic Growth, and that shuts off Gitaxian Probe for free. But then if they just block, now I'm down 2 creatures that could potentially block, so I think I'm just going to attack with Young Wolf here and see if they take one. Okay, they're not. That's perfectly understandable. They don't want to take extra damage for what's really no reason. So that's good, I guess. If I draw, well, no, because I guess I can't cast Rancor and Braintree Emissary in the same turn, so another island. Okay. That allows them to play more spells, or allows them, I guess, no, they could have gushed anyway, because they had 2 islands and they could have just replayed one. I wish they made a full art version of this. I think it'd be really cool looking. Then you have the Token Mountain. And there's a Kiln Fiend. Okay. Lightning Bolt would be the best draw. No, that's not a Lightning Bolt. Okay, so I guess my best bet here is to just go Burnt Emissary and Jun Hackblade and attack with everything. So that they block... They have to block both of these, and then they have to trade off the Kiln Fiend and one of them gets through and I still have a blocker. So that's good. Hopefully they don't have something like a Vapor Snag, or any type of counterspell that I wouldn't otherwise be expecting. Just right-click attack with all, and well, pass the turn. Not much else I can do. It's okay though. I suppose my opponent could gush in response, and then block, kill, block, trade, block and kill, take 2 and go to 1. But then they can't play Mutagenic Growth, they can't Gitaxian Probe for free. It looks like that is what they're doing. Oh no, never mind. Okay, they're going to 1, and I have a blocker. But they have 5 cards in hand, it's a lot of cards, and 3 islands. Okay, cool. So I guess I never drew a Temur Battle Rage, and we never drew a mountain, and there's the Lightning Bolt, which is kind of funny. I still like the way I played that, though. So we're going to bring in the Pyroblasts, obviously, because Pyroblasts are really, really, really good against this type of deck. And River Boas are also good because they're just free damage, and they can just have the threat of blocking and regenerating. Lightning Bolt's not that great, but you do want a way to actually finish off your opponent. I think Rancor actually gets worse because they have cheap spot removal and their guys are kind of big. I think Lightning Bolt's better because it goes to the face and could potentially kill them. Actually, I guess Bone Splitter's not great either. Rip Clan Crash is also not great on the play. I think that Riverbow is just a strict upgrade to that. And I'm going to take out a Pit Skulk, and actually I'm going to bring it back into Rancor. Electricity doesn't do anything against their deck because they don't have any 1 toughness guys. They don't have any artifacts. Vines of Vastwood is something to be considered, but I think Rancor is better than Vines of the Vastwood because they have a very limited number of removal. Especially because Hydroblast, well, I guess Hydroblast does do stuff against you, but you want to be so aggressive that you may not have time to use Vines of Vastwood, I think. And I think Riverboa is just a strict upgrade from Rip Clan Crasher. It can't be Hydroblasted, and it has Island Walk and Regenerate, so... And they, again, they don't have any artifacts or enchantments, so... Nope, there's Seraph. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I think even if I was on the play, I would definitely mulligan, because again, the lightning bolts don't do anything. And I need another land, and although I can cast 2 Burnt Tree Emissaries into a Nacatl and make a 2/2, if I don't draw a second land, I'm pretty boned. This hand's much better because I can go turn 1 Nacatl into turn 2 Pit Skulk as a 2/2, so... The other good thing is that the Pit Skulk is a 2/2 with his ability, and they're guys without playing any spells or 1 toughness, so the Skargan Pit Skulk can get in all at once, usually. So that's another really good thing about the card, but because I'm on the draw, and they have spot removal plus Mimic Cyclops and stuff, it's not the greatest thing in the world to have so many Skargan Pit Skulks. I wish we had a dual land, though, so that I could go Wild Nacatl and Skargan Pit Skulk, but unfortunately, we don't have that in Pauper, but you get used to that. That's a good draw, though, because now on turn 3, I can leave up Pyroblast and go 2 1-drops if I get it, or I can go Riverboa. So I'll go ahead and get Mountain. Attack for 2. I'd say there's a 110% chance my opponent does not block here. Yep. I wanted to leave an extra 10% just in case they had a Mutagenic Growth. I mean, they're taking 2 anyway, but now they also get to kill my guy for free. So, well, I guess not for free. I guess they're trading a really good card for my Wild Nacatl, so there's that. What sucks is that Pyroblast does not deal with Kiln Fiend, but it does deal with that guy. So that's a good thing. Another Mountain. Okay, well, that doesn't really do much right now, but I think it does a little bit. I think I'm just going to Pyroblast now and get the blocker out of the way so that I can get in for 2. I wish I had a Lightning Bolt. I would rather Lightning Bolt this guy. Than, whatchamacallit, Pyroblast it. Because Pyroblast is just such a better spell. Oh, not you. There we go. If my opponent attacks, I'm going to just trade off the Riverboa if I'm not dying. A big way to beat this deck is to remove them of threats, because then, you know, they're just drawing all these kind of like cantrip deadish cards, but if they don't have a threat, you have nothing to worry about. So, excuse me. He's electricking my Riverboa. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. He's also lightning bolting my guy, so I'm going to 13. Okay. Kind of sucks, but not much you can do. However, getting mana flooded is a pain in the butt. So we're going to attack for 2. I'm not going to play the lands. I'm going to make my opponent think that maybe they're a pump spell or a lightning bolt, maybe. So hopefully that works out. Opponent's pondering. Let's see what they do with the ponder. I have to keep clicking OK. Well, my opponent chose to shuffle their library, so I guess that's a good thing. Potentially a good thing. A draw like this is usually going to favor them because these 2 cards are not spells. And if they have more removal, like more lightning bolts or even flame slash, they can just kill my dudes and eventually kill me with the Kiln Fiend. So I can block here and force a Timber Battle Rage. That's why I assume they're attacking. But I think I don't think I can afford not to. They probably have 2 Timber Battle Rages. Maybe I get lucky and they don't actually have one. They just thought I wouldn't block, but they do. I mean, it's very clear why they would attack there, so they're going to kill my guy for free, and I'm going to take a lot. I would have died if I didn't block, so... A Burning Tree Emissary. Okay, well... I guess I could attack for 2, because if they have a Lightning Bolt, I'm dead anyway. So there isn't really much I can do about that. Though once I don't cast the spell, my opponent's going to know that I am on air. So that's unfortunate, but gotta be positive, I guess. There isn't much else I can do. Oh, I guess them being at 2 life also shuts off Apostle's Blessing, so we're dead. Didn't really get a very good draw though, so that's not really a bad thing. So as far as being more aggressive goes, I think maybe take out a Horn Kabu and just become as aggressive as possible. Though I'm a little less... I like Skargan Pitskulk a little less, and I like Riverbow a little less, because they brought in Electrickery against me. So I think I'll take out a Riverbow and I'll bring in another Rancor just to make a threat like a Curd Ape or a Wild Nacatl a bit better. And then I think I'll just leave that as is. I think Rancor is better than Bone Splitter, because if they do kill my dude, at least the Rancor comes back. And also because the Rancor gives trample. This hand is very good, especially if I can draw a Curd Ape or a 2-drop. So I can go Wild Nacatl as a 1/1. Hopefully they don't Electrickery it on turn 1, because that would be very rude. But yeah. Yep, well the jig is up, my opponent knows what I'm doing. They Burst Lightning it? That's an interesting card to be playing. I guess maybe they're playing a version that gets to 5 mana more often. Okay, so we'll play the Emissary. We'll just play 2 2/2s. And I'm not going to Lightning Bolt. There is, well, really absolutely no point to Lightning Bolt right now, so, you know. Sorry about the messaging. I'm talking to an important person right now, so... Sorry about that. Another Burst Lightning. My gosh. It's a lot of Burst Lightnings. A Rancor. Well, we're not going to use Rancor this turn. We're just going to play Skargan Pitskulk. My opponent does not know about these 2 cards, so hopefully that helps out quite a bit. Go ahead and play Skargan Pitskulk and pass the turn. They don't know if I have a Pyroblast or not. They do know I have a Lightning Bolt, so that could be influencing why maybe they didn't go turn 2 Kiln Fiend if they have one. Alright, well there's a blue land, so maybe they just drew that off the top. Or they were holding up a Pyroblast for, you know, some reason that I don't really understand. And Ash Barrens. Well, that doesn't really do anything right now. So I could go Rancor, but if they have a Lightning Bolt, it's going to be really, really bad for me. So I think I'm just better off attacking for 4 and holding up my mana and cycling Ash Barrens at the end of their turn. I don't want to walk into a Lightning Bolt and get my Rancor into the graveyard so easily, so... There's another mountain, wow. And there's the Fabled Cyclops. 4 cards in hand, could die at any moment. So we're going to go ahead and cycle this, and we're going to get a second force so that I can play however many spells I want in the same turn, I suppose. Ooh, a Jund Hackblade. That's a good one. Again, so I don't want to play into a Lightning Bolt, and they don't know I have a Rancor, so that could also be a good thing to just save it. We'll go ahead and attack, though, for 7, and see who they block. and they block the Emissary. That doesn't seem correct. Okay, so they're not blocking the Hackblade. So they don't have anything, it seems. I'm just going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt the Nivix Cyclops. And if they have a Apostle's Blessing, they can pay 2 and save it, but that's one less spell that they get to use on their turn. Oh, Mutagenic Growth. Okay. That's even better, because that would have been an extra 2 damage. And now they're at 5 and facing a little bit of lethal, so that's good. Okay, so they're going to start off by going Ponder. One card I should maybe play in the sideboard of this deck is Fog. Just do the old school kind of Stompy thing where Stompy used to just play Moment's Peace or Fog to get decks like this, but I don't think that would help me too much. I also don't know if this Ponder has resolved. It did. Oh, they chose not to shuffle. That's really bad for me. I don't think that could be worse. That's interesting. They didn't shuffle, but they played a 4th mountain. I guess if they have 2 Temur Battle Rages, I'm just dead. Well, I might be dead anyway. Now, if they have 1 Battle Rage, I am dead. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you're facing a combo deck like this. And they did have 2 Burst Lightnings, so I guess I should have just played the Rancor. I think I lost that game myself, because the fact of the matter is, I don't think I could afford to play around Lightning Bolt forever, but I figured that they weren't killing me, so on the off chance that I was able to play Rancor and possibly get them would have been better. But I guess at the end of the day, maybe I should have just forced the issue. But I think the thing is that I attacked twice and they didn't have a Lightning Bolt, but I figured they were just using their life as a resource, because unless they go down to 3, they're not dead. But I guess the fact of the matter is I don't have a I guess I had a Lightning Bolt, but I wasn't using it, and they're not going to go to 3 when they know I have a Lightning Bolt. I don't know. I think I lost that game on my own terms, which is a good thing for this deck. You know, I don't play perfect all the time. It's hard to play aggro decks like this because you have to play precise math, but that's just one match. So we're going to go into a second one pretty soon, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.